Welcome back to another episode of the Behavioral Economics and Marketing Podcast series. This is Sandra Thomas-Comenole. In this episode, we will talk about growth mindset across cultures through a literature review of the following article. Society-level social axiom moderates the association between growth mindset and achievement across cultures. So jumping in, let's review growth mindset. A growth mindset was first proposed by Stanford professor Carol Dweck in her book Mindset, The New Psychology of Success. The growth mindset theory is centered around the belief that intelligence and learning can be developed and improved. If someone has a growth mindset, they have a positive attitude towards learning and their ability to progress and achieve. They embrace challenges, persist through obstacles, learn from criticism, and seek out inspiration in others' successes. Dweck and colleagues further assert that those with a growth mindset believe they can achieve what they set their mind to. The thought behind a growth mindset stresses that our minds are like muscles that can get stronger with use, can result in higher test scores, achievements, and growth. The opposite of a growth mindset is a fixed mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities are mostly innate and interpret failure as the lack of necessary basic abilities. They shy away from challenges and change, perceiving them as a threat. In 2007, Dweck and colleagues published a paper in Child Development entitled Implicit Theories of Intelligence Predict Achievement Across an Adolescent. They studied the role of implicit theories of intelligence on the mathematics achievements of adolescents. During the 5-year study, the researchers studied 4 successive waves of entering junior high school students at a public school in New York City. They measured their achievement-related beliefs at the onset of junior high and assessed their achievement outcomes as they progressed through the 7th and 8th grades. The findings were that the students who thought their intelligence was malleable, i.e. had a growth mindset, were outperforming the students who had a fixed mindset over the 2 years that they were followed. And so let's apply this to marketing leadership through growth mindset across cultures. A cornerstone principle of behavioral economics is the study of cross-cultural applications of behavioral economic concepts, as human behavior is strongly influenced by cultural norms and societal beliefs. This is important if you are an international marketer, selling or buying internationally, leading cross-functional teams, working with a geographically dispersed group, or simply have a diverse team, as culture extends beyond nationalities. Culture is commonly defined as the customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. Therefore, the more diverse your team is, the more that differences in culture comes into play. In this episode, I will review the recently published academic article, Societal Level Social Axiom Moderates the Association Between Growth Mindset and Achievement Across Cultures. The article was published in the British Journal of Educational Psychology by Dr. Alan Bernardo and colleagues in February of 2021. The researchers investigated society-level social axioms to explain variations in growth mindset effects on achievement across cultures. They hypothesized that 3 society-level social axioms, social complexity, fate control, and reward for application, imply social norms that would either support or obstruct the growth mindset effect. Social complexity is the study of the phenomena of human existence, immigration patterns, armed conflicts, political movements, marriage practices, natural disasters, etc., and the many possible arrangements of relationships between these discrete phenomena. Social complexity reflects human behavior as it is exercised in ongoing and increasingly broader and more complicated circumstances of individual and group existence. Fate control is a belief that life events are determined by grand external forces, or at least outside of your personal purview. Reward for application is the idea that effort, knowledge, careful planning, and the investment of these and other resources will lead to positive results. For example, hardworking people will achieve more in the end, or adversity can be overcome by effort, or every problem has a solution. Social axiom theory is often employed in cross-cultural psychology to study cultural patterning, positioning of values, and the predictive power of values for actual behavior in a cross-cultural context. I go more into depth into social axiom theory and all of the axioms in last week's Definition Minute. If you haven't had a chance, I highly recommend listening to it. In this study, the researchers proposed that social axioms could moderate the growth mindset effect at the cultural level. The study used data from the OECD PISA 2018. The Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, is a global policy forum that promotes policies to improve the economic and social well-being of people around the world. PISA is the OECD's program for international student assessment. PISA measures 15-year-olds' ability to use their reading, mathematics, and science knowledge and skills to meet real-life challenges. The test is administered every 3 years, and roughly 100 countries in and out of the OECD have participated. The data set that this study used includes 270,000 students from 39 countries and territories. In PISA 2018, growth mindset was measured using a 4-point system that asks students to value their agreement on the following statement: your intelligence is something about which you cannot change very much. In this way, a strongly agree response would indicate a fixed mindset. Additional data on country-level social axiom scores was used. The researchers analyzed the effects of growth mindset on achievement scores by regressing the achievement scores simultaneously on the growth mindset response, and considered them in light of country-level social axiom scores. The researchers found evidence that growth mindset is in fact positively associated with achievements in reading, science, and math. And further, that the association varied across cultures, primarily in cultures with higher social complexity beliefs, meaning that in cultures that have higher social complexity beliefs, the smaller the effect growth mindset has on achievement across learning domains. So let's apply this to marketing and leadership. The goal of introducing and developing growth mindset in your team is success. You want your team to succeed in the short term and the long term. Developing growth mindset in your team may help your team succeed. But what if your team varies in culture and background? What if trying to develop a growth mindset in your team does not work? What can you do? Here are a few strategies that you can employ. 1. Try to encourage a variety of problem-solving techniques. As the old saying goes, there is more than one way to skin a cat. In marketing and leadership, there are definitely multiple approaches to the same problem. Give your teammates freedom and autonomy to choose their problem-solving techniques. Number 2, likewise, encourage a variety of learning techniques. Encourage your teammates to learn their preferred learning style. I once had a teacher that firmly believed in the Socratic method of teaching. This means to teach through step-by-step questions that are designed to lead the student to the truth. In order for it to be successful, the teacher must have the student's undivided attention. Therefore, the students should not eat during class, check their phones, smile at their neighbor, or even take notes. On the other hand, of the 7 common learning styles, I am definitely a physical learner, which means that I learn best and am most engaged in learning while taking notes. The act of physically writing notes helps me to retain information and connect the dots. Learning your most effective learning style is a foundation to the act of learning. Encourage your teammates to know their learning style and adopt the learning style that fits them best. This is a foundation to success. Number 3, allow your teammates to define success in their terms and give support for flexible and multiple strategies to succeed. Know your team, their goals, motivations, etc. But take it a step further. Ask them to define success for a given situation or project, and then be flexible and offer support to help them succeed. Number 4, encourage your teammates to seek out mentor-mentee relationships. Employees who differ from you in their definition of success, learning styles, and motivations need different models for success. Encourage your team to seek out mentors that can help them to fulfill that need. And take it a step further. Encourage your team to seek out mentees that they can help to succeed themselves. Wrapping it up. Understanding how we as humans make decisions is an important part of marketing and leadership. Behavioral economics is the study of decision making and can give keen insight into employee behavior and help to shape your leadership style. The growth mindset theory is centered around the belief that intelligence and learning can be developed and improved. It is an important facet of both marketing and leadership. In this episode, we consider how growth mindset and its effect on achievement varies across cultures. If you are enjoying this podcast, give me a shout out, like it, share it, follow it, and review it. Also, if you enjoy my style but want to learn more about travel destinations, you are in luck. I just launched a new travel podcast, the Hub and Spoken Travel Show. Check it out on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or online at www.hubandspokentravelshow.com. Thank you for listening to another episode of Behavioral Economics and Marketing. This is Sandra Thomas-Comenole.